Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Olakunle Kasumo. Community libraries can have tremendous positive impacts on a society's reading and learning culture. It is no coincidence that the most developed countries in the world tend to invest, relatively speaking, a lot of resources in building and maintaining public and community libraries. Unfortunately, there is a glaring shortage of public and community libraries in Nigeria. Nevertheless, the good news is that some Nigerians are putting in tremendous efforts to fix this problem. Two of them join us today to share their experiences and thoughts on how community libraries can help to bridge the knowledge and education gaps in Nigeria. They are Adedapo Konde and Oluwatoyin Omotayo, a young man and a young lady who have spent the last few years of their lives working hard on a dream to see young people in our local communities have access to books and learning. I often call them the community library builders. Enjoy our chat. Dapo Toyin, thank you for joining us on Channel's Book Club. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I like the work you're doing, trying to create libraries at local community levels. You know, it's a fantastic vision.
Thank you.
Fantastic vision. But let's start from there. Let's start from there. What's driving you to do that, and how is it going?
If you look at the state of our educational system in Nigeria, you realize that we are in dire straits, and because of that, a couple of young people, including me, decided that instead of harping on the challenges we are facing, why don't we do something about it? And that's how the idea started up. So we've set up, we're starting with a library because we know that there is a dearth of infrastructure. You know, in Nigeria, people are not able to access quality educational facilities. They are not able to access books. So we decided to set up the library. So if you say there is a dearth of, or there is a, the state of reading in Nigeria is going down, how can we solve that problem? Yeah, I think that's where we started.
And that's why you planted the library within a local community.
Local community.
Rather than, I mean, you could have set up a library anywhere else.
Yeah, you know, if you look at the population distribution, you realize that grassroots communities are more populated. You have a lot of people living in those communities, and they don't have access to enough social amenities. Their schools are very populated, and they don't also have good facilities to accommodate the students in the school. And even the infrastructure in the community is not enough to cater for the number of people living in those communities. So when you set up a library in a grassroots community, you are giving them opportunities. You are opening them up to opportunities by doing that, and that's why we started from there.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot to talk about with regards to what inspired you and how you've gone about it. But our primary subject today is that connection between local community libraries and improvement of the whole educational sector, or bridging educational gaps or knowledge gaps, you know, within our society. That connection, you know, I like the way you are emphasizing the link between creating local libraries, community libraries, and bridging the knowledge gap, bridging the education gaps and all that. Talk to me a bit about that.
I think basically we found out that what is obtainable in Nigeria is the top-bottom approach. Everybody's waiting for the government to do things, and we found out that that's not going to work. We have to go through the grassroots, like we go the bottom approach. So we have to go through the communities themselves. We have to help ourselves get things done academically or intellectually. We found that there's a debt, and for countries that are actually having high literacy level, the Scandinavian countries, and then you have less troubles, is because they are well educated, they are well enlightened, and that's because they have active libraries. They have libraries. It's not just the schooling system. You know, there's a difference between being educated and going to school. So, and most people get educated by having access to these books. And we felt, oh, the best way for us to do it is to go through the bottom approach, go through the communities, go through the underserved communities where we can actually help them harness these facilities. So we've done that in Ojokoro, and we've been able to duplicate them in some neighboring communities. And we're hoping to do much more and help establish, and just not establishing libraries too. We're establishing active libraries, whereby we also engage the community. And then what do I mean by active libraries? We have libraries that there's this portion of library that we call user education. You're supposed to enlighten the public. That's why they are supposed to be established in the community. They're supposed to enlighten the internal and external users. Once you are located in a community, you're there to enlighten them, age-wise, sex-wise, gender, like meet their needs. We also have community. We create these committees in every community that we go to. A committee of all the stakeholders. So you can have the participant, you can have the teachers, you can have the pupils, you can have the community leaders, you can have youth, who will also come together and decide what they want. And that will be reflected in what we provide in the library. And afterward, they also give us accounts, the reports, and also give us updates as to how far they are being used.